island of Java, a tropical jewel in the midst of the Indian Ocean, conscientiously administrated by meticulous Dutch bureaucracy. The year is 1870. The colony is undergoing a transformation. Recently, individuals have been allowed to lease farmland and manage plantations. The fertile land offers ideal conditions for exporting a multitude of colonial goods. Off on the way to an exotic experience.
Welcome back, my friends. It's Iggymo here, and we're going to continue our campaign series. This is the second campaign of Chapter 1 called Coffee and Colonialism. This will be heavily track influenced, and we'll show you some tips and tricks along the way. So let's get started.
The Dutch East Indies, surely the most exemplary colonial empire under the sun. With luscious fruits and cheap labor in abundance. You act on behalf of the colonial administration. A gifted talent in the art of engineering, you have been appointed to modernize the local transport sector. Complete this task to the satisfaction of the Crown. If you do, even the post as governor might be in store for you. Transport is a much sought-after service on this scarcely civilized island. Eating draft animals such as oxen is punishable by law. That's why the colonial administration has commissioned you to build a railroad so that the plantation business prospers. The delicious coffee is supposed to be transported from the fertile hinterlands to the facility near town for processing. Anyone set on building wisely and cheaply avoids unnecessary slopes. Perform the necessary surveying work.
Alright, so here we are in game finally, and it's going to start us off by wanting us to do some rail connections, but it's also going to introduce us to a few of the layers that we have available to us. So if we go back up here and look at our button up here in the upper left, you'll see that we've got our RCI indicator, which was this one that we saw in the last video, but we also have this new one, which is the contour lines layer.
Across treacherous terrain to the processing factory where the coffee fruit is husked.
So what we can see is that it actually lays in the elevations, which kind of gives you an idea of high spots, low spots, and each line represents a constant elevation. And so you see higher areas are darker green, while the lower areas are lesser green, and then there are major contours. In this case, the major contours are considered 100 meters, and that would be the solid black, the solid darker line that you see. And then if you go into minor contours, there's one down here, a few lines down, that's a little bit darker, but not as dark as the ones in between. That's considered as a minor, and then the intermediates are these 10-meter ones that are happening here. And you can see that if you hover over this and move your mouse cursor, it'll tell you the elevation of what you're pointing at on there, so that's kind of cool. So 130 is the top of that mountain. So that's all I wanted us to do, and you can use that to help kind of plan routes that you don't want to be taking a train up and straight up over this hill, obviously, because it just would struggle to make up the hill. Going down might be all right, but coming up is an issue, and so you're wanting to maintain the best speed possible. So often you're going around these things, they're trying to keep tracks as flat as possible. Now, on certain maps that won't be an option, And this one, we can actually kind of work around it. So we'll come through, and so we need to build a cargo station. And instead of giving us a specific spot, we can now just come in and go to our buildings tab for our rail lines. Again, be careful, we've got passengers and cargo. So I'll put a cargo terminus here. We'll use M and N to kind of set it up, make sure that it's connected to the road, which you can see activates, you can see how it activates the farm or the plantation that's here. And so we want to make sure we have that, and I'll just drop that in there. Okay, and so now we want to build a line that connects to the road that's over there. So we'll go back and add our tracks. And grab this guy. And again, not a whole lot you have to do. The natural lay of the land is able to maintain our constant speed. So we got 120 all the way there. So we'll add that one there. Okay, now we need to build a depot also in this area. Now, one of the things that we did last time was we kind of directed it towards where we wanted to start, but it's probably a better idea for a lot of these to take our depot and to orient it so you can get on and off the track, in either direction. Otherwise, if you're to the right of this, getting it in. So I'm going to set this thing back here. We're going to tilt it a little bit. And I think if I put it about there, I'll be able to kind of set our track up accordingly. All right, so there's our depot in. Now we just need to connect it. And so I can bring this in. Again, trying to get as much speed as possible. 69, 70, 75. Really, we're kind of down by that 44 coming out of the curve, right? So we'll come in, we'll put it about there. That looks all right. Gonna get those numbers lined up. So got that one there, and that completes the task. But again, I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of get in the habit, hopefully, of coming in and putting one going the other direction as well. And that will help us, later on. Okay, so there's our two tracks here. So now we need to buy a train, a freight car, which can transport the coffee and the fruit. So it's having us do things a little bit out of order this time. So I'm going to buy, go to our depot, and we're going to grab, again, the cost doesn't matter. We have different powers, different max speeds. So we're going to take the fastest one. That's this Borsig unit. We'll grab that. And then I need 4 cargo cars or cargo wagons that are capable of carrying my coffee. So you can see that one's sugar cane, this one's coffee. So I need to buy 4 of these. We do that, and we'll just buy one of those. And so that builds our train. Now we don't have a line, so we're going to have to set that up. That should be the next task. Okay, and so now we need to create a route. So we go to our line manager. Okay, and we're just going to call it, something like, rail, coffee line. Normally I would put like the town where it's going from, but this one's pretty obvious, so we'll grab that. Then we'll go back to our vehicles. Our line is now made, and now I can take my train and I can assign it using our new line. Oh, and what did I forget to do? I forgot to assign the station. So let's start with, let's see, I need to get the fruit first, so we'll send it out that way. So we'll add a station, add this one, and then we'll add this one, and then we'll come in and that will get us there, and then we'll switch over to our train line, and then we'll put it on the line itself. There we go. And so we should be good to go. And with that, now all we have to do is turn it on. So I'm going to go max speed on this, and you can see it's now coming out, and you can see that it's heading toward the second stop first, so it's coming down this way, and then it's going to flip around and go back. And so you can see this is... Oops. We can go along for a ride if we want. I always like this. You can see there's our depot passing on the left, and we're just kind of going off through the jungle at this point. Really cool. So we've got our train. Oh, I got it set for green, don't I? Like I said, I normally like to set these up so that my trains match the color of the line that they're on, so we can make all that red. And now, it's a red train with gold on it. Very Christmassy, right? And so now we're off, and we're trying to deliver... And there we're into the station already, and that's it. So now we'll pick up some fruit. You can see we've got a full load of 16, I guess it's 4 per car, and now we're headed back. That's our camera tool again, whoops. Keep hitting that, sorry about that. moving right along, doing pretty good, right? And there we go. And that was the first delivery, done.
It provides the local plantation leaseholders with truly valuable services. Still fresh from the fields, the fruit quickly reaches the factory. From there, the colony's delightful coffee must be brought to the warehouses and offices in the port for export. That shouldn't be left up to the local laborers, no way. Too easygoing, too inefficient, too unreliable. Specially built stations are called for, so that the first-rate coffee makes it into town undamaged. If need be, stations that can be guarded against plundering hordes.
But you can see the birds flying overhead up there. Alright, so now we're going to basically set up a truck line to take the fruit from our factory up here. And then we can come in and we can put a road depot in here. And I don't want a road depot, I want the truck station. Oops. So we'll drop that guy in there. Got it. And then we'll go in over here. And normally when you drop goods off in a town, you can just use the little drop point depot, but this one actually wants a station, so we're going to put a station in. And that way I'm only killing off one building. We got that.
Stands in the way of speedy transportation to the local seaport anymore. Send the freight cars of coffee on their way.
Alright, so now we need to establish a new line, so we're going to go from here to here. And again, this is going to be our Surabaya coffee, so I'm just going to say it. Truck, SUR, coffee. When we have that, that will be our yellow line. Okay, and that would get us the line, but I still need to build a depot. Depot, here we go. And we'll put it somewhat close to this one, so we'll just connect it in there. Alright, and now we can go in and we can buy 4 vehicles for our depot. And again, you want to watch to make sure that you get the right ones because you have passenger lines. Well, actually, these are all fruit, so we're okay. Let's do 2 flatbed. 2 flatbed, we'll buy those. And then we'll build. We'll go in and we'll buy 2 more of the coverage just so you can see them both. Buy those. Okay, and then I'm going to change all of them to yellow. And then we're going to put them all. Why is that not working? Station types don't match. Bus stop and train station. It does work. Let's see, what do we do? Go back to our line manager. I must have grabbed the wrong. Let's clear those out real quick. So we're gonna add a station. That one. And that one. And that should do it. Does that solve the problem? There it is. I must have clicked the train station by accident. Which is what the icon was telling me.
By sending processed coffee into town. To experience considerable growth, its products have to reach a clientele with money to spend.
Now, while we're waiting for that to finish up, well, we'll just watch it for now. One of the missions that we're going to see is that we have to connect this city over to another one. And so we'll set up a train station, but eventually we're going to want to set up a bus route in both of these 2 towns in order to help facilitate people to the train depot. You'll see that here in just a second, once we get to that part. Oh, we do have bonus tasks we can do though.
capable engineer in your locomotive seems to have vanished from the face of the Earth. Anywhere else, for that matter. Time to find a stand-in, right away. Will one of the natives be able to meet this difficult challenge? Thanks to your reliable deliveries, one train isn't enough to adequately supply the factory with coffee fruit. A passing siding is needed so that a second train can use the line.
Alright, so back on our bonus task. Let's accept the bonus task.
Locals show an interest in learning the decidedly noble profession as locomotive engineer. A practice route for training purposes is needed. Meanwhile, certain signs are feeding horrible rumors about the indigenous tribes dying.
Alright, so now it wants us to build a test track, so we'll just take a short cargo terminus, do the shortest one, because we're not hauling actually any goods. And so we'll set that up in here. And basically, you need to set up a train that can travel a certain distance. We'll keep it reasonably flat. And I think that's the whole point here, is that, you know, they want you to play with the layer, and you can see how it's pretty steep coming up. You don't want to get up near that. So if we do that, I think we'll be alright. So let's see. Grab this one, bring it down and around to that. 69, not the greatest speed, but that'll work. And then we need to build it's basically having to do all the steps this time. We're gonna get you good at it, that's one thing about it. So if I put my depot in, say, there, now we can connect.
So that potential passengers are not scared off right away. In the meantime, some hard-to-digest news reaches you. A skilled worker is said to have fallen victim to a bloodthirsty tribe of cannibals.
Oh, that's not good. I'm a poor worker. Alright. Alright, so now we need to build a line. So, new line. We're going to say rail. Oops. Rail, and this is our test line. We're going to travel a certain distance. We'll hit that. And then our test line, we need to add stations. So we'll start with this one. Start with this one, add that one, got it. Right. And then we can come in and we can buy a vehicle. And I think we just need a locomotive for that, so we'll just grab a Bursig and buy that one. And we will assign that to our test line. And you can see now it's starting to pick up distance, so as soon as we get 1500 meters, we'll be done with that one. Alright. Alright, so with that, we can go back and do our main mission. And so we want to connect the first and second. So one of the problems that you have is we have one rail line, and if I get two trains on this track, they will stop each other from being able to go any further. So you have to build these passing loops around here. So that's what we're looking at doing here. So basically, you're just going to connect the dots. Got it. And that finishes that task.
This requires placing signals.
Alright, so we finished our test drive task. Did that. And we had to do that. Alright, so now what happens is now you can put signals in that say, hey, this section is only one way. And so that you don't get trains still trying to block each other. And signaling is a little bit of a confusing topic, and we'll make some more videos in the future on that. But for now, we're just going to put a blue one here and see how the arrow tells you which way the track is. So it keeps a train from going up that line. Now I'm blocking him just as he was coming through. And then this one will go here. And so from here on out, the trains will come down the left side and then they will take the right side around. And if there's a train in the way, it will stop at that signal until it passes and has a free stretch of track. Alright, so now we can go acquire a second train. And so what we can do is go back to our coffee line, and this is where cloning is so much easier. I can select this guy, and then this button here will make an exact duplicate of the train that we have. So we will clone that guy. Alright. And now he's automatically on the line. I don't even have to assign him because it knows, oh, it's an exact copy.
has become a lively trading center for countless goods and services. All kinds of people from all corners of the island want to do profitable business here. That's why the Colonial Administration has commissioned you with setting up a passenger line from Semarang to Surabaya.
But you can see how this one is now stopped at the sign while we wait for the other one to come through. and once he's passed, then the other one will be free to go. So that's what the signaling and the passing line is for. So it becomes some strategy on how you get those things assigned. Let's see, we got a bonus task. Let's go do a bonus task. Okay.
Good news. The locomotive engineer has returned safe and sound. While you pictured him in the stomachs of savages, he was having the time of his life in the virgin forest. Naturally, you can't tolerate misconduct like that. Regretfully, have to fire the good man.
Imagine that conversation. I'm glad you're safe, but now you're fired. Okay, alright, so that finishes the bonus task. Alright, now we gotta connect a passenger line, and this is the one that I was telling you, probably gotta look at some things a little bit differently. But for now, let's just go through and I'll show you what I mean here in a second. So let's do a passenger terminus here. And we'll set that one up there. And that's the Surabaya, and then we'll go up to Semarang. And we will... Now, normally what you want to do when you're looking at laying these things in, you want to look at where... Oops, wrong one. You want to do the RCI layer. You want to try to kind of get it so that, you know, my passengers are closer to residential zones. And so, you know, while this would be an easier route to establish, I'm going to set it here and see if that doesn't pop up some business for it. Now, again, you want to make sure that you're close enough that you're connected, because we'll need that. And I can grab that guy and connect him in. Now all I need to do is build a track that connects this one to the other one. So we'll bring it on around that way. And you can see, grab the end and kind of bring this all around up through here. And again, we're trying to maintain speed as best we can. I don't really care about money. This is going to ask me for a bridge. Sure, why not? Yeah, we'll do a fancy bridge.
The railroad has been completed. Curiosity runs high.
And you can see I didn't do a very good job of maintaining a train, but it did build kind of an arch aqueduct looking thing, so that's kind of cool. Very cool. Now, I could have kept it on the ground if I had detoured around a little bit, come over this way and around, but that'll work. Alright, so that'll get us there, and now we need to transport at least 25 people. So the things that we want to do, and part of the problem of my location that I chose is we're coming in on an elevated circuit, so let's set our train depot down here. Let's see. We'll accept our bonus task.
A prestigious residence that is unrivaled in the whole island.
Alright, so we'll come back to this one. I want to get this one running because this one takes a little while. Alright, so we want to build a depot. And again, we're going to try to set it where we can have two directions. So we can do that, and we'll do a track. That will get me to here. And I'm not too worried about speed for the on and off. But just kind of getting in the habit of grab that one, and there's our train established. Okay, and then we need to do a line, new line, and we're going to do change the name. So this is a rail, and this is SEM to SUR. That'll be my passenger line. Okay, so we hide this. Now we're going to click on our stations. We will do add a station, Lower Semarang passenger line to Surabaya passenger line, and we've got that. Okay, so that will get us there. And now we can go buy our trains, so we'll buy a vehicle, again, take the fastest one. And now we need passenger wagons, and so there's only the one choice. And so you can see that each one is able to carry 8. I need to carry 28 people, so let's just do, the more that I buy of these guys, you can see that the speed and the power requirements get steadily worse. And if I really go nuts, you can see how now it drops down to poor, meaning it's not very efficient at all. So I'll delete all of those off of there. I think 4 will do us for now. That gets us 32 capacity. We're not going to fill all these right away. All right, so we'll buy that for that money. and that goes onto my blue line, so we'll make him blue. I'm going to put that on that line, and now we're in business. And again, I'm going to run it at high speed, just so we can see that awesome blue train. He's now headed to Surabaya. So apparently he goes to the last stop first. Okay, and so that's our. In fact, we'll just go along for a ride here. You can see we're getting ready to go over that viaduct. That's pretty cool right there. You can see that's pretty awesome. Just the look of the water and the bridge. I love it. Just absolutely love it. Alright, now you can see right now we have no passengers on there. And part of the problem is that there's no way for them to get to our particular stop. So this is where, like I say, it's not part of the mission, but I'll show you what will make sense for us to help speed up this process. You know, eventually you'll get like one here, and you would have to make 30 trips back and forth. But if I go through and do it this way, let's go and grab a bus stop. Okay, and we're just going to make kind of a loop around, if you look, our RCI. So if we loop around this green district and then come over by the bus station, we should be good. I'm going to put one here, and we'll put one there, and we'll put another one over on this side. Okay, and then we will bring this guy over to here, and then we'll come back to there. That could make a pretty good circuit for getting people filtered over to it. So we're going to add a new line. Okay, new line is going to be the SUR, or a bus SUR. Okay, and normally I would say this is a residential, so we can do that. And now I'm going to click on my stations. We're going to add a station. We're going to go here, then here, then here, then here, and then here. Right, and that will be my station, and now all I need is a depot. And so we will grab a bus depot. We're buying and selling buses. For lack of a better place to put it, let's just put it. There's a place where I can get rid of one. Alright, and then I'm going to pick up some bus lines. We're going to buy vehicles out of this, and we need passengers. Passengers, there we go. I got 4 passengers, 5 passengers. Let's just buy like 5. Again, we're not worried about money in this. So we'll buy 5 of those. We'll change them to purple, and then we'll put them on the bus line. And you can see, and what will happen is now we'll start getting a whole lot more people popped up. I mean, you can see right now that train's been running the whole time. We have no people transported at this point. But now you've got a demand of 1 here. And they'll start popping up more and more now that you've got a circuit. And then those guys, see, I already got a second. We've got 4 waiting there. So that bus line will speed up this process greatly. So we'll go do the same thing over here. Let's see where the residential is. So the residential, so the loop that we want is kind of down in this area. So we'll just do the exact same thing. And so we'll grab our bus stops and we'll go here, and here, and here, and here. We'll put 1 here, and then we'll put another one over here just to get us over to that. And then so this is our new line. And so this is a bus. Oops. Bus, SEM, residential, we'll hit that. And then if I click that, now we can add our stations. So we'll just kind of go and say, we'll grab this one, and then we'll grab, add a station, sorry, grab that one, and then that one, and then this one, and then this one. You just kind of make a loop every couple of blocks, put another one in. So that's our stop. You can see right now we have 3 waiting. Okay, and then we will put in, we need to put a depot in. So let's put a bus depot. This looks like as good a spot as any. Alright, and that gets us there. And then we'll come in and we'll do our depot. And we will buy, another 5 here. Oh, we don't want to buy 51 of them. Let's try that again. 5. And then we'll put those on our Semarang residential line. And again, I want to make sure that those all match the colors, so make them orange. And you can see now we'll start getting some people moving back and forth, I hope. Anybody on that train? So we got 6 that are now moving. We're still at 0 out of 25, but we have a lot of people moving around. So if we take a look at our line manager, you can see that on our bus lines, I've got 12 in Surabaya and 3 here. So this is on the line, and a lot of these will be trying to go over. And now all of a sudden, these numbers are kicking up a whole lot. You know, and eventually we'll be able to fill this train and probably in 2 runs get all that we need to complete the requirement. All right. So that's that one. All right, so let's go back and do our bonus. So now it wants us to build a headquarters. Headquarters is kind of a way of seeing what you have for our, you know, kind of what our score is, you know, based on the value of our company. And the way you get to that is you click over there on the kind of the accounting, and these are the accounting pages. So this is kind of month by month or quarter by quarter. You know, what's our money doing, our track cost, our town. You can see the towns are growing just on that. And then the headquarters, we're going to have a score of 6, and I want to build this. And so it's kind of this little plantation-y effect that you can put anywhere that you want. I'm going to take my own private island to stay away from the peasants. All right, and I'll put that there. And then this will grow and evolve.
Spoiling all the fun. Snakes have occupied the building. Rumor has it that a wise old woman knows how you can rid yourself of the snakes in your walls. She's supposed to be in Surabaya.
Alright,
The
cool.
old woman says she doesn't know a thing, but
It's
you
the
should
old
try
click
your luck
question
with your
mark
cousin in Semarang,
test.
who has a knack for the art of snake charming.
Alright, so we've got our clicks. And then you can see that now there are a bunch, and so we don't know where the final spot is. So we'll go click all of these real quick. Nothing. Let's try over by my house. Hopefully it's not in my backyard. Nope. It's here.
The priestess has spoken. The only way she is willing to call off her children is if you make a sacrifice to the great snake goddess. Coffee, the priestess prophesied, will be the sure thing to appease the goddess.
Alright, so we need to build a coffee line, so we'll bring the road down the hill. Here. Here. And I'm actually doing straight segments. I can curl it in so it's a little nicer looking. Got it. Alright, and now we need to... And this is one of the tricks, is it's kind of hard sometimes to get that drop-off station, truck station up here set. You know, I mean, that's not horrible. But this is where, you know, sometimes it might work to, you know, take off one of the platforms or even both. And you can see you can make it a whole lot smaller. Like that. So I will keep one of the platforms. I want to make sure that it's close enough that it will light up our distribution spot. So I've actually got those on the wrong side. Let's flip that. There we go. So I can put that and you can see it's close enough. So we got that. And what we can do is we can now add a line that goes between my original drop, new line, and this one here. And so we'll call this as a truck. And this is our offering line. Again, kind of sticking with the story there. And then we will go by, I don't know the number. And in fact, one of the bugs that's a little bit annoying about this is when I buy it, it won't tell me the number of cargo vehicles. I do need to carry coffee, so let's grab the fastest one. Let's just buy 5 of them. And it will probably take it 5 trips. Put this on brown for coffee, that makes sense. And then we'll put this on our offering line. And you can see there are my 5 going. And hopefully they will grab some. But you can see that they're quest vehicles, and even though I know he took some, or would have taken some, but now he's going up the hill to go deliver it. But currently he has nothing showing here, so that's a little bit annoying. You don't sit there and wait for him to pick stuff up, you know. Whereas this guy, you can see he picked up 5 because he's not part of the quest, so I don't know why they did that, but whatever. Okay, so we're making our offering, so we're in good, so let's go over. Okay, and so now we've transported 25 people.
Uh-oh, it's rumbling in the island's interior. Mighty volcano Merapi threatens to erupt. A phenomenon like this wasn't reckoned with while planning the route. The natives claim that someone has probably angered one of their gods. Whatever the case, if the precious coffee fruit is supposed to be transported by rail in the future too, then it's imperative that something be done. It seems worthwhile to remove the infrastructure, if it's not supposed to be buried under ashes and lava.
Okay, so what's happening here is apparently this little guy right there is an active volcano with a lake on top. Makes sense, right? Okay, so what we're doing is it wants us to send all the trains on this red line back to the depot to save them, and that's why we built that second track, is so that if they were over on the other side when this quest hit, they could come straight in. Otherwise, it's a bit of a challenge. You'd have to wait for them to go past, stop at the station, and then turn around and come back. So that was kind of a cheat since we had the money. All right, so let's go through and we do that. So we want to go to our line manager. Let's grab our coffee line. Whoops. Sorry, go to our vehicle manager, grab our coffee line. And so we have the option to sell them, which we don't want to do. Send all vehicles to the depot, clone, so forth. So we want to send all of them to the depot and say yes. Now, when you do that, you got to be careful. Any goods that they are hauling will be sacrificed. You'll lose it. So if you have, an ore truck with 300 loads of ore, don't send it to the depot. All right, so, but for now, we just want to kind of get that out of the way. And you can see how now this one's coming back. And then we want to remove the stop at the coffee plantation from the ramp. So all we have to do is delete that. Got it. And then it wants us to delete the track. So I guess we're environmentalists. And I'll take all the way up to there. And then rebuild both outside of this area. So basically we're going to realign all of this stuff. So let's go build a train depot, another cargo terminus. So this time we're going to go around the mountain. So again, you want to make sure that it's connected. Whoops. There's our... Okay, so we've got that. So now we're going to set this in. Again, you want to make sure that it's connected and that the facility lights up. Okay, and then all we're going to do is we're going to build a track that goes around that mountain. We'll come up to here. Kind of going around the corner, a little bit slow. That's alright. I'm trying to get it so that it can come back in. Do that. There we go.
The danger has been averted. Transport can be resumed. What's more,
Yeah.
the volcano is showing signs of calming down again. Despite that, maybe relocating the route was still a wise move.
So we've got our route. Now, if you look, we have a big excavation here. Normally, I would probably try to do something a little smoother, a little better transition, might look a little better. But again, we're just trying to get through the mission, get all the bonus details. So now we have to re-establish the route. And one of the things that you'll notice, if we go back to our coffee line, this red one, it now only has the one station because I destroyed the other end. The line is still there, but we need to go through and we need to add a station, and I need to re-add that guy back. Alright, so there we've got that, and now we can go back to our train depot, which would be this guy. I just clicked on him since I didn't want to have to look for him. It's the Surabaya train depot. My trains are in the depot, and now I can put them on the coffee line. And you'll see that now they're going to take off. And again, they're going to run it backwards again. I probably should have... Oh well. So that will get you this one. The other one hasn't come out because this one is blocking it. But once it gets past this corner where then it will be able to now come out. So here it goes. And now you can see the other one is now coming out. Very cool. Alright, so we'll let them do their thing. They've got to deliver 30.
The widow of a friendly grower, may the poor devil rest in peace, has been planting sugarcane lately. Make the lady happy by providing her with your services.
Alright, so we're going to help this widow out. She's doing sugarcane.
There it is shipped, then served when continental Europeans get together for coffee.
Alright, so we want to do a cargo station. That lights it up. Probably. I'm not even see there's a bit of a challenge in getting this thing to connect in. tilt that guy at all? No, not enough. A little bit more. No. Oh, that one's not where we're going to put it. Alright. So we'll put it there. And then what we will do is we're going to probably want to... We need a cargo station at the other end. And you can see the sugarcane is coming down into here. So if I bring him in... A little too far out. Let's see if that will work. Alright, now one of the things that's cool about this is, so now we need to build our track. So let's build our track from here. And I could have them all on the same line if I wanted to, or if I go right up next to this one, without having to do signaling, you can actually run the track parallel, and it does it automatically. You can see it kind of follows this guy around, and that's a pretty cool feature for doing a double track. And so you can see we have double tracks here, and then all I'm going to do is bring this guy up. And the reason I did that is this way I don't have to worry about it getting in the way of my passenger line. So no dedicated freight line. Okay, and then all I have to do is, tie into there, and then I can come in and take off. Too much curvature. There. And if I put a signal stop, well, I think we're okay. We're just going to jog across, and we're going to come. Oops.
In light of all this success, the incumbent governor is thinking of moving back to his Dutch homeland in good time. Thanks to your outstanding work, you have a good chance of inheriting his post.
So we finished the primary missions. We still got to finish this bonus, so we'll continue playing just to finish that. And so you can see I've already connected. I just need to confirm. And so that will get me this one. And then now we have our line. We need to make a new line. New line. We want to do rail. We'll just say sugarcane gets me that one. Okay. And then I really did that kind of in the wrong spot. I can't reuse my depot, but at this point we don't really, doesn't really matter. But we'll do it the same, we'll do it the right way. And again, just kind of getting in the habit of, I can get an on and an off to both. Okay, so we'll take this and bring that over to this one. We want the near side track because that's my cargo track. And then we can come in and I can put this one over again to the near side track. And you can see now my passenger line, the only place that they're going to block each other will be in that one spot where this line has to go across. Now I could have done a bridge over and come around, but that's fine. Alright. Okay, so we'll grab that, and we're almost done here. Let's buy vehicles. We need to buy an engine, so again, grab the big one, grab the cargo. Now this one you got to make sure that you get the right one. I think that's what this test was. That was for the coffee fruit, this is for the sugarcane, so we need a couple of gondolas. And I'll just add 4 for the sake of argument. I don't know what the number of sugar delivery is. And then we will change this color to dark green. And then we'll put this guy on the sugarcane line. And with that, we should be able... Why are we not... Did I not assign it? Ah, what did I do? Did I forget to... Did it again, didn't I? Ah, every time, Iggy, every time. Let's add our stations. Now I think to send it to that one, I'd do this one first. We'll add a station here. And then we'll add this one here. And now it should be set. And it still went the wrong way. Oh well. Not that it's a big issue. So we'll have an extra leg of running. Let's go You can see now we got our double line. It's elevated quite a bit. Not the prettiest. We'll close that, and we'll close that. That's a pretty cool backdrop with that arch bridge going that way. So now we're just going to go along for a ride. Some of the other things that you can see here's your line manager with your line statistic. You see which ones are profitable and which ones aren't. Obviously my test line is losing money. What was it, 54,000? He's not doing anything. Interesting. Okay, my offering line lost a little bit. And even this line's losing, but we haven't made any deliveries yet. Alright. Here are your vehicle statistics, kind of gives you the age of the vehicle and what each one is doing. This is a vehicle by vehicle, and you can flip through all, road vehicles, trams, trains. So you can see my trains, and the trains are usually the more profitable of the bunch. Especially that passenger line that's hauling 28 at a time. So you kind of want to watch this. That if you cap this out, then you want to make sure that maybe you need to add more cars or something. You always want a little bit of room to grow as you're watching all of this. And here are some of our station statistics, what's being bought, what's being traded, of all of these stations, for those. And then let's see, town statistics, you can see our population. And then here's our industry statistics of what industries I've kind of worked up. So you can see that I'm transporting 99% of the coffee that's needed coming out of this. So it's kind of interesting. And there's the end of the bonus. That's all you had to do. Just get one track over there. So anyway, that ends the second mission. I hope it's made sense to you, and we will see you guys next time. If you found this video useful, toss us a like and be sure to subscribe, and we'll keep not only the campaign tutorials coming, but we'll go back and work in our Southwest series, and might even think about starting another series on a harder difficulty setting, just to kind of explore in more detail kind of the creative side of what's going on. So with that being said, I will see you guys next time. Thanks for coming out. Bye bye.